It's Sarah Spiker here. I recorded a video earlier. This is take 2. Technical issues. Anyhow, I have a question for you. I'm going to keep it much shorter than the original video was, so good for you if you're watching this one. It's going to save you a ton of time. But my question for you is, do you dare to change your story? Do you dare to let go of your story, of your past? See, it's so interesting to think about how we grow and evolve as people, as entrepreneurs, as partners, as spouses, as parents. And we usually take what we have learned in the past, apply it to what we're experiencing right now, hopefully to get to where we want to be in the future. But the tricky thing is, I have learned it the hard way. The tricky thing is to take the right things from the past, seeing them from the right angle in order for them to serve us where we are to get to where we need to be. And I find this to be extremely tricky, especially when your past has been filled with challenges and obstacles and hardship and experiences that were not the easiest. And it's so easy to see ourselves as victims or as somebody who had to overcome things and had, hey, Anya, hey! Hey, long time no see. Oh my goodness, how are you, lady? I had to take a little, I saw your picture, but the last name, I know you got married, so oh my goodness, so amazing. So it's easy for us to keep reliving that with the experiences that we're experiencing in any given moment. And this is the first time I actually started to explore that was when I became a mom, and there were things that my little ones would do that I noticed triggered me. Not triggered in a way of, yelling and things like that, but just trigger different emotions, trigger different actions and reactions. And when I started to pay attention to what was going on, I was able to address that, and I recognized that there were a couple of patterns, and as I was digging deeper, I started to uncover those where those patterns were coming from. And yes, some, depending on what I'm about to say right now, to some might seem a little out there, a little abstract, but some of the patterns might be from childhood. Some of the patterns and triggers might even be from our past lives and other experiences that we are still dealing with and reliving and paying off, so to speak, where we are right now in this lifetime. I know if you and I were to meet like a couple of years ago, I would never even thought about it. But through the different experiences, through learning, through working with my clients, my eyes were really open to different opportunities, different possibilities. And through my personal struggles, either with postpartum depression, when I had to make conscious choices of how I want to respond to certain things, what kind of course of action I want to make, I started to learn more and more and more about not just the energy, but especially the mindset piece. And I'm not speaking to you as a psychologist or a psychiatrist, because I'm not trained in either one of those. It's solely speaking to you from experiences and trainings and courses and other things that I've been experiencing on my own and learning more about. But when it comes to changing the story, I found it to be extremely powerful when you are creating your future, especially as entrepreneurs. There's so much that comes up when we are doing our work and we support our clients, and we are faced with challenges of not just getting clients, but then welcoming them, selling, getting out of their comfort zone, getting on camera, speaking impromptu, inspiring others, writing and recording videos and being interviews and teaching. And there's so much that not everybody's comfortable with, and you have to get out of the comfort zone. And then making investments to keep bettering yourself, right? To keep grow and evolve. It is so easy to go back to past experiences and say, well, I have tried it in the past, it didn't work. Or say, I tried it, I got burned and it hurt, I fell, I'm not doing this again. Or I invested in this and this and this, it didn't pay off, I lost my money, I'm not doing this again. I hired a coach, it didn't work out, I'm not hiring ever coaches ever again. Or I invested in a course, you get the spiel. But the thing is that when you think about your story, when you think about all these experiences, and when you think about what is it you're creating, you also learn that the first things that comes to mind is your thinking, is a thought. And you can choose how you want to take that, how you want to process it, and what you want to make out of it. Because thoughts then evoke feelings. Feelings inspire action. Actions create habits. And out of habits come the results. So if you want to reverse engineer that, and if you want to think about where you want to be in the future, and when you think about, what your vision is, what is the goal that you're creating, you have to reverse engineer those steps. You have to change habits. In order to change the habits, you have to change your action. In order to change the action, you have to change your state. And in order to change the state, to change those feelings, you have to start thinking differently. So what I actually did yesterday, I have my biography, I have my story written down for many purposes. And I have told it so many times to so many people, and usually people are really inspired by it. But the thing was that I started to notice that the more I repeated, the more I relived it, and the more it felt like an anchor, the more confining it was. And it was time to really let it go, because I finally became clear. Finally, I shouldn't use the word finally, but I got a lot of clarity of where is that I wanted to be in the future, not just on a personal level, but on business level as well, who I want to work with, how I want to support them, and what kind of person I want to become in able to be able to do that, and what kind of person I need to become to be able to give to my family what I wish to be able to give them. The first thing that had to change was how I see myself and what I believe and how I think. And then also the energetic level, which is so interesting when you think about for those of you who are in tune with yourselves, you know how when you step into the room and sometimes you feel like you get energized and you love being around certain people because they give you the energy, they fire you up, and it feels like sky is the limit. And then a situation when you step into the room and you feel the energy is drained, and in your conversations, like, oh my gosh, please, just you can feel the change. So in order for you to be able to do more of what supports you, to become better, to do greater things, to give more, you need to feel energized. So it's the key that you create the environment that supports you. It's the key that you create the energy for yourself where you can give, and when you are fired up, and when you create, and you can be yourself, like, not everybody's bouncing around, but so that you can be yourself. So the key is for you to be able to let go of what no longer serves you. And sometimes, yes, sometimes there are relationships. Sometimes it's the services. Sometimes it's creating boundaries with your clients. Sometimes it's a whole business that needs to go. Different things. But the first thing ever that you have to consciously attack first is the story of how you see yourself and how you perceive the world. Because you can possibly imagine when you're in conversations with people, there are those that life always happens to them. They're standing in the red light and, the light always turns red for them. People are always out there to attack them. There's always something, there's always drama, right? And there are people who are always happy, who are upbeat, that you see like, you're just dancing through life. How is it possible that everything comes so easily for you? The thing is that those people are attracting that. And people who are always miserable, who are always unhappy, who are always victims, they are attracting more hardship. It's like magnets. And somebody explained it in terms of quantum physics. Full disclosure, I am not a quantum physicist. I am not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. But I'm sharing with you what I have learned through my experience. But it's like when you have an electron that's circling, right? It's going slowly, and you're attracting those slow things. When you speed up your the frequency, when you increase your vibration and your energy levels go up, everything becomes easy. You start attracting all the fun stuff and positive stuff and easy stuff and great people, happy people. So if you want to change your story, if you want to get to where you want to be, if you want to climb the mountain, you have to let go of the baggage. You have to let go of the anchors. You have to let go of all the negativity, which sometimes it's not easy to do. But it starts again with changing your story. So to go back to my initial question, do you dare to change your story? Because a lot of times we are afraid of success. Like, what if I actually succeed? What if that actually works? How are people going to perceive me? What are people going to think about me? Can I actually do that? So no, you know what? I'll just keep it safe. I'll stay safe. I'll stay small. I'll keep myself confined in this little box, that I fit into society, that I fit the norms. It's going to be easier, right? And sometimes it's the people who love us the most who try to do it for us. They don't want to see us hurt. They don't want to see us disappointed. They don't want to see us challenged. They don't want to see us uncomfortable. So they try to keep us safe and confined and, playing small so we wouldn't get hurt or disappointed or judged. So it really comes down to you, how do you perceive where you have been? What do you take from where you have been so that you can keep building those stepping stones that you can get higher or further or wherever that next level for you is, because you defined it for yourself. So my question again, do you dare to make the change for you? Are you willing to make the change for you? And if you're not ready yet, if you're not there yet, it's perfectly okay. There's no judging, and whatever thoughts are coming, whatever feelings are coming up, there's no judging. You just accept them, and then you make a conscious decision. Do you wish to change them, or do you just wish to relive it again? Because the thing is that when you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again, you're going to keep getting the same results. So unless it becomes extremely uncomfortable and extremely painful and extremely confining and almost, you start choking, maybe that's what it takes for you to change. Maybe that's when it's going to be, oh, okay, maybe I'll start thinking differently, looking at things from a different perspective. My personal experience was like, there are so many signs that I chose to ignore because I was just raised in a society where you go, 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 do. You don't play pity party. You don't have a pity party for yourself. You don't, feel sorry for yourself. It gets tough. Well, you become tougher. You push harder. You go harder. And yeah, it was postpartum depression. It was anxiety attack. It was weight gain. A lot of different signs that I chose to ignore unless I couldn't ignore them anymore. The pain became too much. It's like, I gotta change something. And it wasn't then just physical stuff. It was also people around me. The events, the sequence of events is like, oh, that's unusual. That's not typical. Life is going to do whatever it takes, whatever it needs to get your attention. Sometimes it will pull a rug from underneath you, so you will literally faceplant. Sometimes it's going to squeeze you into the corner, all to get your attention, for you to start consciously becoming aware of where you are, what you have created, and starting to change that and start the way you think and start the way you feel, start changing the way you act to recreate those outcomes. And that's how you start growing. That's how you keep evolving. And that's how you keep moving forward towards where you want to be. But again, it's a decision. So my question to you is, are you willing and able to make the decision? Let me know in the comments. I'm so curious to hear what comes up for you. But my time is up here, so I need to let you go, and I'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.